Welcome back for the COVID Chronicles, day 2 here at Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. If you're watching me, you can see that I'm still not back in my office. I'm recording today's episode in my dining room. Good news, my son is feeling a lot better. His fever is gone, still has that positive test, and so far, nobody else in the household has gotten any symptoms or gotten COVID. All right, so today's episode, we're going to talk about sales funnels. We're going to talk about sales funnels, choice architecture, and digital marketing, which was my original name for this episode. But honestly, it was a bad title for what I thought would be a great episode. So I'm going to call this your sales funnel secret weapon. The idea of choice architecture comes out of a book named Nudge. I'll talk more about that in a minute. But really, this is about helping people, guiding people to making beneficial decisions for themselves. If you like this episode, if you like this content, if you want more like this, don't forget to hit like, comment, share, subscribe, do everything you can to engage with this episode so you get more content like this delivered to you, and so the magical algorithms of the internet will know to share this content with more people like you who will find it valuable. With that, let's dive in. These are the proven direct response marketing, copywriting, and entrepreneurship success strategies you can use today to write your own ticket and create the life you want. I am Roy Furr, and this is Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Now, here's today's breakthrough. All right, today's episode, as usual, is sponsored by me. Tomorrow, I'm on, let's see, what's the date? May 19th. At 2 p.m. U.S. Central Time, I'm doing a live training for my BTMS Insiders members called Conversion Architecture 101. This is my monthly Insiders call, which is an exclusive benefit for BTMS Insiders members. You can join for the live training. There's a Q&A, and then we do training on this special topic. And we're going to be talking about 3 funnels to rule them all. I'm going to be going over blueprints of the 3 most important funnels for your business if you're looking to generate leads, customers, sales, and profits online. Plus, we'll be sharing the principles behind sales funnel design to help you apply this thinking no matter what your context, your business, your market, whatever. And again, that's tomorrow, May 19th at 2 p.m. U.S. Central. Plus, if you're catching this afterwards, you will be able to access the recording with a BTMS Insiders membership. The link is in the description. All right, so before we dive into choice architecture, I would say that this content definitely comes with an ethics warning. Please use this responsibly, ethically, for the benefit of everyone involved, because honestly, this is a little fluke of human behavior that can be used in manipulative ways, and I don't want you to do that. I don't condone that at all. So please use what you learn ethically and responsibly for the sake of your customers, prospects, people in your market, anybody that you're communicating with. Okay, number one thing, you must define the process. You must define the process. This goes back to a quote that I know that I first heard from Dan Kennedy. I'm pretty sure he mentioned getting it from somebody else. But if you don't have a process for selling, you are at the mercy of your prospect's process for buying. And their default behavior in any kind of buying situation is not buying. And so if you want your prospect to buy, you have to define the process by which they buy. And if you want your prospect to make certain decisions as they engage with your marketing, you have to help define that process such that the natural path that they're going to take is the path that makes the most sense for them and the most sense for you as the marketer. So that brings us to this idea of choice architecture out of the book Nudge. What do you need to know about it? Well, okay, so there's this book Nudge, and it's not by marketers. It's by, I forget their exact titles, but these are people who basically studied not just decision making, but decision making in the context of like institutional situations where, for example, one of the particular studies that came up in this book was a company that offered health insurance. And they initially they were just offering employees the opportunity to renew their health insurance every year. And there was this form that you had to fill out to say, I wanted to renew. And the default was that they would not renew your health insurance unless you filled out the form. I think it might have actually been one of the schools that they worked at. Well, what they decided to do was they tried a scenario where instead of making the default be that that you had to fill out this form to renew, they changed it from opt-in to opt-out renewal. So you had to actually fill out a form to say I was no longer interested. in health insurance. And it actually changed, like it significantly changed the number of people who renewed. And if I remember right, this was even employer paid for health coverage. And so more people renewed for this benefit that was paid for by the employer just because they auto enrolled them versus auto didn't. There was an opt out process instead of an opt-in process. And the point that's made, and it's made through study after study that are detailed in this book, is that people are always making decisions, and oftentimes they will make the easiest decision. And if you are someone who is creating scenarios in which people make decisions, and this includes marketing, you are always engaged in choice architecture. The question is whether you are intentional about it, whether you are doing it on purpose versus doing it accidentally or randomly or whatever. And really, there's a few different approaches to this. One, you can be engaged in this choice architecture from an ignorant perspective. You don't know you're doing it. Of course, after this video, not necessarily. After this episode, not necessarily. But if you don't know you're doing it, then you could be actually leading people to worse outcomes without even being aware of how you are leading them to worse outcomes. That's the ignorant perspective. Or you can be a benevolent guide. That is, knowing that you are engaging in this choice architecture, creating choice scenarios for people, you can guide them in the ways that you work to ensure are in their best interests. And obviously some people are going to have different interpretations of that, but the whole thing around intent is, do you intend the best for this person or not? Or you can engage in choice architecture in a malevolent way. Now, starting this episode off with the ethics warning, obviously that's not what I want for you. That's not what I want for your prospects, your customers. And so I'm encouraging you, acknowledge that number one, you are helping people make choices just by putting things in front of them. You're giving people the options to make different kinds of choices. So I'm encouraging you to do it in as benevolent of a way as possible. So how does this have to do with marketing and sales? Well, choice architecture is huge in marketing and sales funnel design. The default action in creating any kind of marketing scenario, any kind of sales scenario is inaction, right? And if you have a product, a service that truly benefits your customers, you want to encourage them to take action. You want to give them the information that they need to make an appropriate decision. And if it is a good fit for them, you want to encourage them to take action. So the question is, how can you guide your prospects to taking the best possible action? It's about guiding their choice. Like it's not about forcing or tricking. It's not about making them do something that they're not going to be happy about later. You don't want to create buyer's regret or any of those scenarios. What you want to do is you want to set it up so that there is an obvious path for them to take, that if they are agreeing with the propositions in your sales setup, right, in your sales messages, that they are going to choose to do business with you. And in that scenario, you are going to be benefited most, and you are going to benefit your prospects most, who are the best fit for you, when you clearly define the choice and encourage it. So, your next step, if you're interested in this, is to sign up, to enter your email address here. Your next step, if you're interested in this, is to click this button and go through to the order form. Your next step, if you're interested in this, is to add this element to your order. And so it's about defining the choice and encouraging the choices that will benefit them, but also importantly, giving them the option to opt out, giving them the option that if they decide, hey, that add-on is not the appropriate fit for me, no, I'm not going to do it. And not forcing them or manipulating them or making it too hard for them to get out. It's about giving them the best options to move forward for themselves. Now, one great example of this is the idea of putting upsells inside a marketing funnel and adding that in a way that benefits the customer. And so, for example, somebody just purchased some particular item. Now, they don't necessarily need more of that item unless it's some kind of consumable that they're going to run out of and want more automatically, in which case you could make it very easy for them to make the choice to get more of it, right? But if your particular product or service solves one problem, then the next choice that they might want to make that would be beneficial to them would be something along the lines of, hey, once that problem is solved, there's this new problem that you are going to need to solve. And if you create an upsell that solves a new problem that is created by solving the first problem, well, then that puts you in this position of being like a benevolent guide along the way as they are realizing. So a great example of this that is going to be familiar to most people in my audience is the whole like traffic and conversions thing. So if, for example, somebody buys a product that's about creating conversions on their website, or let's say traffic. So everybody wants to figure out how to get TikTok traffic, right? Or whatever it is, whatever the flavor of the day is. You want to figure out how to get traffic for your business through TikTok. Okay, so you make an offer that shows people how to get traffic through TikTok, and then you put that out there, and the people who bought it, well, they're probably going, once they get those visitors to their website, they're going to want to figure out how to convert, right? How to convert those visitors into paying customers. And so the next thing that you might offer them is an opportunity to convert TikTok visitors into buyers of their product or service. And so that would be a natural next step, a choice that you could encourage in the process. And the more that you think about this idea of choice architecture, the more effective you can be as a marketer by presenting people with the next good choice and the next good choice and the next good choice towards getting the ultimate outcome that that prospects in your market are interested in. Now, don't forget, if you got value out of this episode, you'll definitely want to check out the link in the description to Conversion Architecture 101. That live training is on May 19th at 2 p.m. Central US, 2 p.m. US Central Time. And if you miss the live training, you'll still be able to access the recording through the BTMS Insiders Training Library. And also I'll include a link to the Nudge book by Richard Thaler and Cass Sunstein. And you can learn more about choice architecture there. It's an excellent book. My name is Roy Furr. This is Breakthrough Marketing Secrets, your daily episode. Every day, in every episode, I'm here trying to increase your marketing genius, trying to give you ideas and principles and strategies that will help you be more of a marketing genius in everything that you do. If you really apply choice architecture, I think you'll find that we have succeeded with that episode, and I will catch you again next time.
Thank you once again for tuning in to this daily episode of Breakthrough Marketing Secrets. Remember, check out the links with this episode for even more value. Now make sure you like, comment, share, subscribe, and engage in every way you can to keep this show going and growing and delivering daily value to you. I'll catch you soon for your next big breakthrough.